Hey guys, welcome back to CheatSheetPros.com. Today is Saturday, February 12th, and we're going to do our NBA player props video. As always, subscribe down below so you can get the content as soon as it comes out. We're going to do a lot more videos in 2022. And if you'd like to play with our cheat sheets, we post them in a Facebook group on Thursdays for everybody to play with. The link will be in the description. As always, we open up the NBA cheat sheet. These cheat sheets are used for daily fantasy information, sports betting, and player props. So this video, we're going to focus on player props. So the tab that I like to use the most, we have three main ones down here that are focused on player props. This one's going to flip through game by game, show some DVP. You can flip around and see what a player's projections are, last 7, last 15-day averages, and all this other information. And then our new last 10 DVP, we brought in the 3-point rankings over the last 10 games because we want to get a quick snapshot of what the team's doing right now. Their rank in rebounds, assists, and then points in the paint. I broke it down as points, percentage of total points allowed, and then a ranking so we can see which big guys we want to go with or which perimeter shooters we want to go after. And then this is your daily fantasy points allowed and ranking. So just another tool that you can use. So what we're going to do, we're going to open up the last 7 tab, and then you can see we have points, rebounds, assist, and points, rebounds, assist, and it keeps going if you want to get into some other stuff, but we're going to focus on these for right now. So I like to go points, rebounds, and assists and sort this high to low. One of the things I've already done is we have our minutes here. So this is the minutes they've played the last 7 and the minutes projected. So you can see I've filtered them out. So some of these guys, like, for example, Aaron Holiday's averaged about 28 minutes the last week, but he's only projected for 7 minutes, so we want to get rid of him. So I'm going to click over here and go number filter, greater than or equal to, and I just like to do 22 minutes. Just, get us some guys that are going to be on the court for a while. So we're sorted high to low over here. Now, the idea behind this is Prize Picks and these other sites, whatever their daily projection is, that's usually what the prop line is. Now, if they get a lot of money on the over, they'll bump it a half a point or a point. But if you get a player that's red hot over the last week, and that's typically anywhere from 1 to 3 games, I like to see 2 to 3 games, and they're averaging way over that number, then that's someone we can go look at and say, what is their line? Do we think they're going to do it? Are they in a good spot? What's the game total? What's the DVP? And you can dig into this other information. So now that we have a breakdown, what we're doing and why we're doing it, let's go ahead and take a look at some players for tonight. So just scrolling down the list, you can see some of the guys I've highlighted in green are the ones that jump out. So I'm going to go through them here, and then I'm going to flip through them on Prize Picks, and we're going to look at all their lines. So Garland wasn't up yet. The next guy down is DeRozan, and so I look across here to see where is his biggest difference. Is it points? Is it rebounds? Is it assist? Well, his assist is 0.1. His rebounds is negative 0.7. So it's not those two, so it's got to be points. So for him, we're going to look at his points prop. He's averaging 38.5 over the last week, which is 4 games, and he's projected at 25.1, so a difference of 13.4. DeRozan's point prop is one we would identify that, hey, we want to go take a look at this. Looking down, Fox, he's another one. Looking across here, there's two that jump out at me. Points, he's up 7.7, and rebounds, he's even up 3.2. And then his total points, rebounds, assists, he's up more than 10. So we like him. Barnes is going to be another guy. Same thing, points are what's jumping out. Aaron Gordon, when we scroll across here and we look, we get a couple more points, not a lot. Rebounds, we get almost 2 more, which percentage-wise is a pretty big number, and a couple more assists, and it's even across 3 games, so he's one we want to take a look at. So his points, rebounds, assist total, he's about a plus 7.6. Siakam, he's kind of a known guy. He's been red hot lately, although the 2 or 3 rebound game he had last time was very frustrating. I know for a lot of people, I've seen a lot of Twitter going off about that. But he's been scoring a lot of points. Gary Trent, he is an absolute lock if Fred Van Vliet don't go tonight. He's questionable right now, and we'll take a quick look at Trent, but you can see 18.9 to 27.3. He's got a plus 8, so he's someone, but that plus 8 is mainly because Van Vliet was out. And then we've got Luca, Mitchell Robinson. Looking at Mitchell Robinson, this is a good example. You can see his points are the same. Assists are the same, but his rebounds are drastically different, 10.9 to 16, so that's someone we want to identify for a possible rebound prop. And then over here, we've got Dejante Murray. We have points and we have assists are the two that jump out. Randle, pretty much everything, but points, he's been red hot lately. So he's got 3 games this last week. He's averaging 28.7 points. He's projected at 21, so a difference of 7.3. We want to go take a look at his line. And one guy that's further down the list is Kelden Johnson, and he's just been red hot for me recently. And his overall PRA, 31 to 25, he's getting there, but he's someone I'm also going to take a look at. So let's go ahead and jump over here, take a look at some lines, and then I'll bounce over to Thrive, and we'll talk about that because I know a lot of you have Thrive accounts as well. So going down the list, the first guy we're going to take a look at that we went over is Demar Derozan. And they are adding a few more of these currently. So his points prop, you can see here, he's averaging 37 points per game over the last 5 games with 35, 36, 38, 45, and 31. And his point prop is 29.5. Zach LaVine's questionable, so if he's out, I definitely like the over here. But even if he's in, this is something that's very obtainable for DeRozan to take a look at. Going down to the next guy, we got Darren Fox. So Fox is basically a point scorer, and he's been over this in 3 straight with 27, 29, and 27. And Sacramento was our play of the day if you watch the sports betting video. Absolutely love Sacramento over Washington tonight. I think it's a slam dunk, but that's typically when stuff goes south, when you think something's that much of a lock. But when they got the new players, he put up 27 points in that last game against Minnesota. But even prior to that, he had 29, 27, and then 27 here. So 21.5. That feels like a pretty obtainable number for me. And then going down here, Harrison Barnes is someone that was not on my radar, but he popped up on the cheat sheet and I identified him. So I went to look at him and I found that he's got a 5-0 prop. He's averaging 23.8 points over the last 5 games. So he's a 5-0 on this number. And the last game when they had everybody, he put up 30 points. So he damn near doubled his 16.5 point prop. So I like Barnes to go over there. And then looking at his other stuff, I like to flip through here and see rebounds. He's just barely skimmed over a couple and then been under one. So with Sabonis, I don't really love that. His points, rebounds, assist props, 24.5, and he's got 41, 30, 38, 33, and 30. So yeah, we definitely like that one. Projected fantasy score, if you want to run this, it's kind of the same thing. He's just squeaked over it a couple of times, so I don't like it as much as I do some of the other props, but Barnes is definitely someone that we should consider tonight. And looking over down here, we're looking at the third guy, Aaron Gordon. Taking a look at him, I want to flip through him and take a look at rebounds, I think, are what jumped out on the sheet. So you can see points-wise, he's been over it, but 15.5, we need 16. And I mean, he's got 17 and 17 and 19, so he's barely over that number. So that one is a little scary. Projected rebounds, though, his number is 5. The reason I like that is 5 gives us a push. It does not hurt us, so he needs 4 or less for us to lose the prop. Over the last 5 games, he's got 6, 8, 9, 6, and 7. So he's running on a 5-0. He's averaging 2.2 more rebounds than the number. And like I said, without the hook, the 5, love that. Let's look at his other props here. So PRA, he's also going over. I think rebounds are our best option there. And then we're going to flip down to the next guy. So we got Siakam. And he's been absolutely red hot regardless. So his points prop's getting up kind of high. It's up to 23.5 now, but he's got a 5-0 line. So he's got 30, 27, 24, 33, and 25. So if he goes up against a team that gives up a lot of points in the paint, he's usually a slam dunk because those teams are usually poor at rebounding. So we can get a PRA number really good on Siakam. But I think you always have to consider his points prop. He's one of the main scorers. And if Van Vliet don't go, he's almost a lock to go over that number. Rebounds, this game against Houston, they give up a lot of points in the paint, so that one's tricky because usually when he gets down there, he's scoring, which we saw on his points right here. So he had 30 points against Houston, which he went way over, but he only had 3 rebounds. Well, he didn't have to rebound any, so that one, I knew that was going to be kind of a tricky one, but I did like his PRA over, and it didn't get there in that game. Prior to that game, he had 16, 11, 9, and 13 rebounds, so 4 straight overs, so we do like that. And then his PRA number all the way over, but he missed it by a hook on this last game, which he only had 3 rebounds, otherwise he would have crushed it. But I think Siakam, you have to have a piece of almost anywhere, especially if Van Vliet's not there. And I'm going to go ahead and bring up Gary Trent. So Van Vliet's questionable. I don't know if he's injured, rest, or whatnot, but he did not play last game. And Trent dropped 42 points. So his 18.5 would be a lock. And we had a run of 5 or 6 straight overs when it was 17.5 points. And Price Picks bumped it up to 18.5. And then you can see he had a couple. He went under, barely over, slightly over, under. And then I missed this. I didn't realize Van Vliet was out. I have kids that play sports and their activities, so I'm running around like crazy of an evening. But he dropped 42 points without Van Vliet. So if Van Vliet is out tonight, lock in Gary Trent. That is a no-brainer slam dunk play. If Van Vliet is in, I'm probably going to go ahead and stay away from him for now because there's other plays. Luca is not up yet. He just played the same team and dropped 51 points, so keep an eye on his points prop. I assume it's probably going to be somewhere around 30. Next guy down, we have Mitchell Robinson, and he jumped in rebounds, but let's go ahead and take a look at all of his numbers. So points, he's kind of up and down. Rebounds, he's on a 5-0 number. And again, we like 10 because we get the push, so 9 kills you. So I'm really looking to see how many games in the last 5 did he have 9 or less. Well, 11, 21, 11, 11, and 13. He's on a 5-0 run and not even a push. He's been over it. Now, 3 have been close, but 10 gives us a push. So if it was 10.5, I would stay away from it because 11 is just squeaking over and that hook could get us. But even if these were 10s, they're pushes, I don't mind it. So that's one to definitely consider. And he should have a ton of opportunities going up against Portland tonight. Dejante Murray is the next guy. You can pretty much go anywhere you want with here. I mean, he's got games of 32, 27, and 29 points where he flies over. And then he has a couple games where he was less than 20. But I like him to slide over that. He's always a fun guy to watch. And I also think that the Spurs are going to be sneaky tonight and they could win this game as a 4.5 point underdog. Assists are where he pops on the cheat sheet. With 15, 12, and 11, he's had some massive games. And the 10, like we said, gives us a push, but he does have 2 games of 9, which are losses, but 9 is really close. So I don't mind going that. Anything with Dejante, I think you're fine. And his fantasy score, assists are worth a ton of points on Price Picks. So you can see he's coming off a 77.5 point game. So if his assist goes over, his fantasy score is usually going to go over as well. So that's another way to attack it. Moving on, Julius Randle popped on the sheet, and he has been red hot. He's pretty much the only savior for me recently. I've had a couple bad runs. But his points, the last 4, 28, 28, 30, and 32. And then he's going up against a weak Portland team, and it's only 22.5, so he's one of my favorite plays that I will have tonight. He's averaging 27.2 over the last 5 games, so that's, around 5 points over it, so I do like that, his points prop. Assist, I'm not really going to get in. He's on a 4-over run. Rebounds, he had, he's kind of up and down. PRA is pretty solid because if his points goes over, this is usually going to go over because he's locked in for so many rebounds. So we do like Randle tonight. He's someone to take a look at. And then the other guy, I want to take a look at one more, and that's Kelden Johnson. And he popped on the cheat sheet, but he was way down here on the lower part of the list. But he has been red hot, and his lines are so low. So 15.5 points, and he has 26, 18, 28, and 21 in 4 of his last 5. Miami, he had a dud game. But all these other games, I mean, this one he was, slightly over. But then these two of the last 3, he skied over that number. You can see here the big gap. So I like the Kelden Johnson over. I don't like to get a lot of people on the same team. The book I use, I can't do same game parlays. I can't have more than 2 people on the same team. So typically I try to get 1 person off each team to go after. PRA numbers still, this is solid as well because he contributes across the board. Numbers 22.5, he's got 36, 26, and 36 over his last 3. PRA is usually what I attack just because it's easier to get that number for someone like him. Fantasy score, same thing. He's sliding over it quite a bit. So either attack his points, rebounds, assist, or his points prop. Those are the ones we like. As far as my favorite plays, it really depends on who's in or out. If Van Vliet's out, then Gary Trent becomes a lock. And every play I went over, I really like. So you can mix and match any ones you want, as always on Prize Picks. If you don't have a Prize Picks account and you want to sign up, I'll give you 2 free months in our premium group. And let's take a look at Thrive, because I know a lot of you have Thrive accounts, and we have a referral code for Thrive as well, and it's just CheatSheetPros. Pretty simple. So looking at the NBA plays, let me go ahead and refresh this. Thrive is one that's kind of tricky. So if you see a line you don't like, wait, because they change a lot. Thrive is not as big as Prize Picks, so you get a lot of movement in lines, and they flip them. So if they get a lot of money on points plus rebounds, they might flip it over and do points, rebounds, assist. So throughout the day, it kind of moves, so it makes it really hard because they don't release their lines until late in the day, which I've usually already done all my research by then, and then they're usually changing pretty quick. So looking down over this list, Mitchell Robinson, we looked at his points, rebounds, assists, looking at his last 5 games. That's not a bad line. That's pretty good, 20.5. I don't love it. Julius Randle, this is the one that I do like. Over 23.5 points. Like we said, he's been on fire recently with 28, 28, 30, and 32. So he's been over that number. That's the one that does jump out at me. I'm trying to see if there's anything new that's came up. I've looked at a few of these, and it didn't really jump out at me. Rozier assist looks decent, but I'm trying to be pretty particular with the games that I do want to go with. Sabonis, 19.5 points. In the last game with Sacramento, he had 22. He went over that number, so that could be a decent line to go after. And if I can't find anything else, I'll probably default down to Sabonis. I do love this one. The Fox over 31.5 points, rebounds, assist. So he's got well over 30s, well over 30s, well over 30s, under, and then well into the 30s. And he contributes in assist. I mean, he's got games of 6, 8, and 8. And then rebounds, he's 6 to 8 rebounds. You could say he's 4 to 8 assists. And he's always in the 20 points. So I like that one. I like the Fox one to go with our other. McCollum, I haven't really paid attention to him a whole lot to see kind of what he's been doing. That line looks decent. Embiid, I haven't looked at a lot of Philly stuff. Dort is usually pretty solid, but Chicago is a tough matchup for him. And then flipping down through here, you could take a shot on Adebayo's points, rebounds, assist. He's in a good spot tonight going up against Brooklyn, who's absolutely horrible, and they have no one inside. So his number's 33.5. And we've got, see there, the game is 40. This is in the 30s. That's slightly over the 33.5. That's going to be just under. That's going to be over. So I don't mind him going over either. I think that one's kind of sneaky. Clay, points, rebounds, Curry. I haven't looked at a lot of Golden State versus Lakers because I don't really care for that game. But anyways, guys, subscribe to the channel. Go make some money. Have some fun. And, yeah, let's do it.